Welcome back to World Today. We will be speaking now to Brigadier Shahid Jagir, who is a senior analyst, and he'll be talking to us about the recent developments between President Trump and the North Korean Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un. President Moon of South Korea has said that the summit that just took place recently, the meeting between President Trump and Leader Kim, was basically an end of mutual hostility between the two countries. It's a huge development because there's been, and it's a start to denuclearization in the zone as well, potentially. So, sir, what would you like to say about this most recent summit? They say that this is the first time that a sitting U.S. president has actually set foot on North Korean soil, where President Trump actually stepped into North Korea briefly. So, what are your views on this?
Okay, thank you very much. You see, North Korean issue is of a long time. It was divided, the Korea was divided after the Second World War.
Right.
And because of the, aristocratic way of comment of the North Korea, it was isolated. And then it thought that possession of the nuclear weapon would be one of the instruments where, they can, show to the world that they are a powerful nation. They have carried out about 5 to 6 tests. And it is also said that they have miniaturized the nuclear bomb and have the capability of intercontinental ballistic missiles also. So that way they are capable, the North Korea is capable, although not very confirmed, to strike the mainland of USA. Now that is the major issue, which is confronting both the nations. Now, with the coming up of this Kim Jong Jr., his one of the slogan was that he will bring up the peace and stability in the region, and also will uplift the life quality of its country.
People, right.
There have been talks on this, which were a roller coaster. Sometime there was a hope that something will be settled. On the other way, it was a thing that no, it will break away.
Right.
At the moment, at the face value, it seems a good, with the Western analysts are talking nowadays, is a good show of photographs. But it gives a hope that in the time to come, when the Trump is moving for his next term next year, and Americans also want its allies to be protected. The U.S. has about over 28,000 troops and latest weapons in the South Korea.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, where they're stuck up at the moment, that's very important. Now, Americans want that the North Korea should denuclearize without any precondition. The North Koreans, the Kim Jong wants, he has 3 issues which are bothering him. One is that if he denuclearize, what will be the guarantee for the security of the North Korea and its regime?
Denuclearize, does that mean actually that he's going to retain, it's going to be like a status quo, right? Because at the moment the 20 to 60 existing nuclear weapons that it has, it's not going to remove them, but it's not going to increase them either, and it's going to stop its testing.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
He wants that, what is the guarantee? That after he give away the nuclear weapons, the Americans will not, twist his arm.
Yeah, there'll be no
The second thing
there was
is
extreme hostility between the two leaders at one
Second
time.
point, which is the bothering the Kim Jong, is that he need a good face in the Committee of Nations when the U.S. has branded them, or the UN has branded them as a state sponsoring terrorism.
Yeah.
So he want that it
President
should
Bush
be
used
lifted.
to refer to them as
Yes,
the axis of
yes.
evil and things like that. So it's come a long way.
They removed
since
it first, their name, and then again included it. The third important thing is the lifting of the sanctions and the economic prosperity.
Yeah.
He wants that he should be given some, economic support, some bargain at this stage. The other important thing is that Kim Jong says that when you talk of the denuclearization, it should be denuclearization of the whole Korean peninsula and surrounding area.
Right.
It should not be only North Korea.
Right.
Now, Americans at this moment, they want that it should be, absolutely clear cut, as the Pompeo has said in previous days, that the North Korea should not expect anything in return from us. And here is where the talks went away last time also, and if they have to start, they have to start over here. North Korea, has, it's not only their nuclear weapons, the Americans, they want, the other thing which is stuck up is that he wants a promise for promise. That one step is taken, he should bargain for that, and he should get something out of that.
Okay.
Whereas Americans are the one who are saying that we will not negotiate on any term. It's absolutely denuclearization. Now, here where the talks are stuck up. If it has to move forward, there is a requirement that the Americans and the world should give North Korea some leverage in the shape of maybe confidence building measure initially by the UN taking off the name from the terrorist list, good relations, trade embargo which has been given is imposed on that because of certain US and UN restrictions, so that the North Korea become open to the world, and Kim Jong can say to his nation that, look, if I have given this, I have received this also.
Right.
So that is where we are very important. Americans can also help them in the shape of mining, because North Korea has about proven record of about 200 types of different minerals. So they can be helped in that regard. They can be helped in terms of agricultural and all
economic progress for the country.
That's very important if these talks have to move ahead.
Right.
Because otherwise, without this, probably the future seems to be bleak.
Right. So President Moon of South Korea was saying that this meeting was historic, and it was due to the unprecedented tweet by President Trump that triggered this meeting, which is it's a highly unexpected way for a US president to arrange a meeting with an adversary, which it's normally done through agencies and over a process of several months. So it was a very unconventional way that it was done, which is usually the way of President Trump.
Yeah. You can say it in one way, but in diplomacy, these are known as the diplomatic offensive. I would say, you do a thing which is unexpected from the other leader, as Kim Jong has said that I was not expecting this meeting with you. It's a very good thing, and for the better prosperity and safety of the Korean Peninsula and for the world also, it is important that the talks must move on.
And the South Korean President Moon, he was one of the main factors in this meeting, because he's been lobbying for the meetings to talks to begin between the two countries since the very beginning. So obviously his role in this is him giving these statements as a reason that his role in this was so huge in this entire process.
South Korea is one of the main player in these talks, and it's for the benefit of North Korea also, because North Korea at the moment is a very highly technological base for the Americans, and if these talks go to a succeeding path, we will find that the prosperity not only for North Korea but also for the South Korea also, because that all technology which is across the board will come toward this side, and the growth and economy of both the countries will increase.
Yeah, and naturally peace
Obviously,
brings prosperity
peace will
along
prevail,
with it.
but at the same time, you cannot rule out the role which the Chinese have played in this, bringing the US and Kim Jong together to each other. China has played a very vital role. The Kim Jong has traveled to China also to have a meeting with the Chinese leaders, because they also want that in case of any disturbance or flare-up of hostilities, you know, whole this Pacific Ocean sea lanes will be disturbed. The moment those sea lanes will be disturbed, the development or the progress of Japan and China will be hampered.
Right, right. So basically, this trip to Asia, it seemed that President Trump, in a news conference, he was sort of promoting the U.S. economy by saying that it's the greatest show on earth. Obviously, in 16 months, election time is coming back up. So all of these moves towards improving trade relations and bringing down the tensions with North Korea should be helpful in that whole process. And President Trump's approval ratings have seemed to have gone up as well recently since the beginning of his term. They're not as high as other presidents have been, but it's still gone up.
Absolutely. Look, 2020 is very, very important for US President Mr. Trump, because he was to get out from this Afghanistan, which they are trying their level best. They want to settle down this Korean issue. They want to settle down the trade war, which we were talking before with the Chinese. And if at all he is able to do that, and above this, if he proves to be, you know, America first policy of him, naturally he will be able to, show to the American nations tomorrow coming to the vote that I have got my boys back from Afghanistan, which the people have not been able to do. I have solved the Korean issue, which was a long issue from the last 20 years. I have solved the Chinese issue, yet I have been the one who has been claiming and believing and acting on the policy of America First.
Absolutely. So I'm sure Americans are very happy with that America First policy of his. Brigadier Shahid Jagir, thank you so much for joining us today. Viewers, thank you for being with us today on World Today. We'll see you next time. Allah Hafiz. Bye-bye.